Well met on this sunny day, which feels warmer than it has for a while, which is most blessed. And I'm by my favourite tree again. It's been a long time since I was here, and what is curious is I drew a golden eye on the tree about here, and look what's happened. It's like I've grown into a massive eye. Magic happens here. So I'm very grateful to my tree. I have been pondering Chiron this last 24 hours because I have been feeling quite destabilized. I listened to Pam Gregory yesterday, who is amazing, an amazing astrologer. But I find sometimes when I listen to what she's saying that I can feel that I'm kind of not doing enough, or I'm still too stuck in a matrix I don't want to be stuck in, and I don't know, it just sometimes can make me feel quite unsettled. But I'm very aware that I have Chiron in Aries, and Chiron is in Aries at the moment and has been in Aries since 2018. We'll leave Aries in June this year to go into Taurus, but then we'll cycle back at the end of the year back into Aries until 27, and then we'll go more permanently into Taurus. And mine's at 27 degrees, it's at 25 at the moment, so I'm kind of in the middle of a Chiron return. And what that means in your chart is that the wound that your soul, the predominant wound that your soul chose for this lifetime, is being triggered for healing, for a greater level of understanding. Another couple of layers of the onion. This is probably 2 or 3 layers of the onion skins, to be honest with you. And when I'm looking at someone's chart, I would regard that as their primary soul wound, and that will give me a lot of information, and them, about what really is underpinning the way their life has panned out, the lesson that their soul is trying to learn. And when it's Chiron in Aries, Chiron really seems to love Aries and Pisces. Spends a lot of time in those signs, a lot less in other signs. That is the sign of the self-identity. It's not self-worth, it's self-identity. Like, am I allowed to exist? That is the kind of question behind it. And people feeling that they don't have a right to exist, that they don't hold, I want to say value, but that's sounding like, but it is kind of that. But they don't see their own self, kind of, don't have self-confidence. It is self-worth, I'll just say it. So it's really interesting, this configuration, because as a collective, Chiron is in Aries, and it will be affecting everybody. And that's what I look at in a chart, as to which house Chiron as a transit is affecting. Now, if it matches up as mine is doing with the natal chart, then that's when you get the return. That's the same with any planet. When it matches up in a transit with the planet on the natal, that's called a return, and that's a big significant opportunity for growth, luck, change, etc. So if you haven't had your chart read and you want to understand these things in more detail and what they mean to you, then please, I would be happy to do so. Get in touch. Go to my website, www.oilywitch.co.uk. I've got a fantastic bot on there as well, which will give you some information about kind of what's going on astrologically, as well as which of my services will suit you better. But if you are experiencing a Chiron in Aries, then you can expect to feel a bit victimy, because that's the shadow side of Aries. Aries is the warrior, the kind of, I can do this, the kind of, I am aspect. So when that is like the shadow side of that is the, I cannot, and I am the victim, and everything is poor me. And that, I can really feel that energy at the moment, that triggering of, oh. So, and that's in me, like the shake of it. So I'm sure it's in other people, because we're never alone. We think we're alone. We think we're the only people experiencing these things, but we never are. We are a community, a collective. So yeah, that's Chiron in Aries explained. If you want to work it out, then you need to basically do some therapy and kind of work out where you're not feeling your sense of self and sense of self-identity. And again, that's something I can help with if you are drawn to me and my services. Blessed be.